Hello everyone, and thank you for attending this new Delcampe Live on YouTube. I'm so happy that you are connected with us today. This is not the first time we do a live meeting with you. We already did that a couple of times, and I am very happy to take this time with you to introduce you the changes we brought to the site, what is being done, what is still to be done, and to answer your questions. As you can probably hear it, English is not my mother tongue. So I hope that what I will explain will be as clear as possible for you. If it is not the case, just please drop me a message on YouTube and I will explain a bit more. To explain you how that will work for those among you who did not yet connect to one of our live meetings. We are now on the Delcampe channel on YouTube, and you may choose to subscribe to the Delcampe channel, so you will receive all our new videos, and this will allow you to participate to the chat. The chat is a small window you have on your screen, and where you can send us your messages, your comments, your questions, anything you want to tell us actually. This is an interactive session. There will be two main parts. The first will be a short presentation, explain you the changes we brought, what is still to be done, and so on. And then I will reply your messages, your questions, try to answer. I have to tell you that I am not alone today. Maybe you see me alone on the screen, but there are people here with me in the studio, the Delcampe studio. You have Alexandre and Olivier. They are here to help me, technically speaking, to make all this thing happening. And Olivier, in particular, will be the one in charge to read all your messages in the chat and to collect them, to pass them to me, so I will be able to give you answers. And on top of that, the Delcampe team leaders, so the people helping managing the Delcampe company and the teams, are present online. So if you send me a question, I cannot reply because, of course, I don't know everything. They are there to help me. So if you hear me asking help to someone to a first name, just you should know that I am calling for someone of my team to help me and to give me a reply in the chat window I have on my screen. I am not lost, just I am calling for someone for some help. So you know how it will work, and we are about to start our session. Just don't forget that after the presentation, I will reply to your questions live, to your comments. So please, as far as it's possible for you, send me your messages as soon as possible. This will allow Olivier to collect everything and to summarize for me. Otherwise, we will have a short a break time between the presentation and the Q&A session. So let me please start the presentation. So as you can figure it, we managed to make changes on the site. So why did we change Delcampe? You should know that many among you don't like changes, and neither do we. But if we do it, it's just because we have to do it. There are past and future and present legislative changes. There are laws that are changing. When I started the site 23 years ago, it was the great Far West in the internet. We could basically do anything we wanted. And okay, we did that with great values on Delcampe. We tried to make things right, and okay, that brought some success because you are there today. And But by the time the laws started to arrive, and okay, there are good reasons to make laws, because the e-commerce exploded in the last 23 years. Things have changed much on the internet, and laws are made most of the time for big companies, so they can comply with, but for small companies as well. And Delcampe is still a small company. We are a small company. We have 25 to 30 people working here. I am in the Delcampe office now in Belgium, in Tubize, in Belgium, where the team is working. And so I explain you that because it is not easy to accommodate these legislative changes. But we have to, and we have to take into account that today's economy is challenging as well. Historically there was the COVID that happened to all our world, and that was a great boom for the internet sales. And so we lived that at Delcampe. We could experience that, and we previewed. We know that after the COVID, we would have less sales on the site. This was expected, and we previewed that. But we could not preview that there will be war after. There is war between Russia and Ukraine, now between Israel and Gaza, Palestine. So, and this has serious impact on the collectibles market. Why that? Because everything is more expensive today. You pay more for your electricity, for your oil. You pay more for your house, you pay more for your food. And when people have finally succeeded to pay all their expenses, they look what they have, they still have in their wallets to buy collectibles, to buy leisure, to buy. So all this economic recession has a negative impact on the collectibles market everywhere, not only on Delcampe. And on Delcampe, we now must centralize transactions to ensure that payments are made. And regarding the laws, whether we think that they are fair or not, of course, we have opinions, but it doesn't matter. Our opinion, your opinion, we have to comply with them. Only that. And we have to abide by the laws, or to seize the opportunity to include them in a new way of working. And this is what we chose at Delcampe. We chose to reinvent Delcampe, to work differently. That brought changes for users, but this was the best option we could take for the good of the Delcampe community, as well of the good of our website. So this is why we did the change. So, what are the changes that have been already implemented? The new payment system has been implemented. The end of handling fees. I will come back on these topics a bit later in the presentation, but I summarize them now. So the end of handling fees, PayPal enhancements, changes to transaction fees, visual enhancements, and direct wire transfer. Visual enhancements was made because all these changes had an impact on the interface we have between our services and the users. And to make things as easy as possible for our users, we here to you, to all the sellers, the buyers, to know what was easy to manage, what was not. And we improved by small modification the site, so step by step. And recently we made a good change regarding the wire transfer, because until recently it was possible to pay the sellers by direct wire transfer, to wire money directly on the seller's account. which is not possible anymore on Delcampe. At first, we replaced that with the MangoPay possibilities. And so the buyers could use a wire transfer to their MangoPay wallet and then use that credit to pay the sellers one by one. And we improved that because we still got comments from buyers who said that they were really, they like it the way to pay one wire transfer per transaction. This was not possible when we started the new system, but we, together with the team, we analyzed it and we found a way, a possibility for the buyers to pay the transaction per wire transfer. Excuse me. This is quite simple, actually. I will explain you. If you are a buyer, what is new on Delcampe, and you probably received a message about that. If not, you can find the information on the Delcampe blog, among other information. It's very useful to read it. As a buyer, you go to My Purchases on Delcampe, and then you choose you choose what you have to pay, and just click on Pay the transaction. And there you have a choice to pay by wire transfer. And what you will see there is your own account number at MangoPay and a communication you have to use. I mean, when you will, for instance, if you bought an item for 10 euro, you will just wire 10 euro to this account. It will be always the same because it is your MangoPay account, and just the communication will change. And the communication is linked to your transaction ID. This way, when at Delcampe and MangoPay we will receive your 10 euro by wire transfer, we will know, thanks to the communication, that this amount is for that seller. And we will give the money to the seller, put on his MangoPay account, and tell him that the transaction is paid. Only one operation for you to do, as you used to do before we changed the system. And do not worry if there is any mistake in the communication. That can happen. If you write the number wrongly or you forget to write the communication, the money will not be lost. It will simply be in your MangoPay wallet, and then you just have to send it to your buyer manually because we cannot make the link ourselves. So don't worry, nothing will be lost, and it will be easier for the previous users to keep their habits and use that new system. Coming soon, we have more visual enhancements that will come. We will bring shop memberships and related options. The dispute resolution will be improved. For instance, you will be able to attach files to file a dispute on an invoice. Today you have to do that item per item, which is not convenient, we have to confess. And the lower offer system, we promise you we will improve it, and we are already analyzing how we will do that. So I will give you a bit more detailed explanation about this. So the new payment system, which has already been implemented, there is no more direct payments from buyer to seller on Delcampe. All payments are made via PayPal and MangoPay. The payments can be made by a lot of different method of payments, credit card, debit card, and so on, depending the possibilities of PayPal and MangoPay. You can continue to make wire transfer to MangoPay to have a sum of money you can use. You have at your disposal to pay your sellers on your MangoPay wallet. And as I told you, you can now make a wire transfer through MangoPay directly to the seller's MangoPay account. So this new payment system adds disadvantages. Clearly, it's changing habits. And we know that, okay, it is never, nobody likes to change his habits. Neither do we. This is the main disadvantage. The advantages, it is the user-friendliness of this new system. There is no more risk of error. Before that system was in place, there could be errors when you send a check, when you write a communication for your seller. There were many possibilities to bring to difficulties in the transaction. That does not happen anymore. The payment is very fast, so it could be really immediately in your wallet, in your seller's wallet. This means you can buy something. Today we are on the 22nd of April. You can buy now at 3 o'clock an item. You can pay it immediately to your seller. By chance, he may bring the item today to the post office, and you can have it tomorrow. This is very, very fast. It is a transparency. There is no more handling charges by the sellers. It is a safe system. We protect purchases and sales. It is international. This is a very important change that happened, and maybe we did not communicate enough about that. Until that system was in place, when a buyer wanted to buy an item from a seller, he had first to check that he has a method of payment in common with that seller. For instance, an US buyer who wanted to pay by PayPal should make sure that the seller has a PayPal account. Today, all Delcampe users have a MangoPay account, all, as well buyers and sellers. That means that we can assure that all Delcampe users now can buy to all Delcampe sellers. They have minimum that method of payment in common, and sometimes they have a PayPal method of payment on top of that. So this is a very important change that happened on Delcampe recently. And this new system is economical. The PayPal charges are still paid by the seller, but all the MangoPay charges are covered by Delcampe. That means you don't have to pay, whether you are a buyer or a seller, you don't have to pay for the MangoPay cost, whether for the transaction or for the conversion fee. What has been already implemented is no more handling charges, because they were often misused to conceal payment charges by the seller. I have to tell you that since 2018, there has been a European law directive, the PSD2, that forbids the charges depending on the method of payments. I will make it a bit more clear. It is forbidden since that moment for a seller to sell a postcard for 10 euro and then to say to the buyer, you want to pay by PayPal, you have to add 2 euro on your purchase. This is forbidden. Many sellers put that in their handling charges. And these hot fees are one of the main causes of buyer disappointment on Delcampe. You know that on Delcampe, when you have finished a transaction, you can give a feedback, and at Delcampe we take care of these feedbacks, and we see that many buyers are disappointed by these charges they have to pay without even knowing they would receive them. So PayPal payments fees are to be included by the sellers in their sales price. The MangoPay payments fees are paid by Delcampe. So the advantage of this is that there are transparent fees, no surprises at payment stage for the buyer, and there are fewer disputes and disappointments, which is better for the buyers, for the sellers, and for Delcampe. We have already implemented PayPal enhancement. That means we have changed the way PayPal was integrated into Delcampe. If you made transaction recently, you could appreciate that the system was by far easier, more soft. It is now more integrated, and it allows new payment methods such as Google Pay, Apple Pay, Pay in 4 times, and so on. Note that this new payment of methods depends on the seller side. So if you are a seller and you want to provide one of these methods of payments, you have to check your PayPal parameters. What has already implemented, it was this month, beginning of April, is about transaction and payment fees. Since this month, there is no more monthly commission fees for sellers. the sellers on Delcampe do not pay any commission anymore. And the Delcampe transaction fees are included in the buyer's invoice. Let's take an example. If the seller wants 10 euro for their item, we will display 11 euro and 30 cents as the selling price to the buyer. So, what is the disadvantage of this? Clearly, the buyers are charged the fees. This is clearly what could seem as a disadvantage. But it was already the case. Until now, the sellers included the commission fee in their selling price. And so the seller, at the end of the month, had to pay a commission to Delcampe depending on his monthly volume of sale on the site. Now it is by far more clear. And advantages of this system, Delcampe is guaranteed to receive its operating cost. So this is an advantage for us because for now a little more than 23 years, we were very confident in all our sellers. And unfortunately, there are sellers who left the site after having sold a lot of items and never paid for their commissions. And this money we lost. And we need that money to pay our expenses, to pay our employees, to pay our servers, and to pay our building. This is very important for us, and this was money we really miss it. So, second advantage, the seller gets the price he asked for. So the seller no longer pay any commission fee. If the seller asks 10 euro for his item, he will get 10 euro and will not pay any charge on this. And for the buyer, he has a clear and transparent view of the exact amount. There is no hidden charges or misleading term of sale. Everything is more clear. There is no surprise when you pay for the items you purchase. So these are the fees that are applicable since the beginning of this month of April. The transaction and payment fees. So the charges upon payments are of 10% and 30 cents per item sold. For the seller, the monthly commission fee, there is 0% and 0 euro, so it's entirely free. Regarding the payment fees, for PayPal, you have to check PayPal terms and conditions, and for MangoPay, the payment and conversion costs are covered by Delcampe, so it is completely free as well for the buyer as for the seller. So what is arriving now? The new shop memberships. They are expected to arrive during the months of May, June. So why will we ask this? There are too many unsellable items on the site. You have to realize that today on Delcampe there is more than 90 million collectibles on sale. And many of them are there for years. That means they are just unsellable because we have so many people using the site that if the item is not yet sold, it is just because nobody will never buy it. The disadvantages of this is that new items are mixed in old ones. And on Delcampe every day there are hundreds of thousands of new items, interesting items, and they may be just hidden among the old items that stay there for years. So the searching is complex when you want to look for something, and there is a negative impact on search engines. I mean, when a seller wants to be successful in his sales on internet, he wants that the coin he put on sale is visible on Google when a buyer is looking for an item on Google. And with more than 90 million items, it is simply not possible to do it. So the impact is significant on search engines. At Delcampe, we give the sellers the freedom to manage their stocks and therefore to choose the size of their shop. That's why we analyzed the size of their shops to generate a tariff that is very interesting for them, and it is fair for all. On the side effect, the Club Plus will disappear. Club Plus exists for nearly 20 years. and is a bit outdated, and now it will be. We will keep all the advantages it gives, but we will include it in an option named Store Plus. And before doing this tariff, we analyzed the present store on Delcampe, the present inventories, and if if no seller is adapting his sales, we calculated that 85 to 95% of sellers will pay less than before, or much less. And if by chance these sellers want to adapt their store, they can pay much less. So this is the tariff. So what is very important that up to 1,000 items on sale, it is free, entirely free for all. That means that you, as a buyer on Delcampe, maybe you as a collector, if you want to sell your doubles, your spare items, you can do it for free until a size of 1,000 items. From 1,000 to 10,000, the price is €4.95 per month. Then to 100,000, 19.95 euro. And up to 1 million items, these are already big stores, 49.95 euro. And over 1 million items, there are a few shops over 1 million items on Delcampe. The price will be 229.95 euro. It is important to note that all prices I give now are include VAT. That means for professional dealers on Delcampe who can get back their VAT, or they have a reduction discount on Delcampe charges. A membership of nearly 50 euro cost only around 33 euro. So we think it is a really fair amount, and it is by far one of the cheapest on the market. So this is what we wanted. We did not want to have a difficult tariff, a huge tariff. We wanted to have something fair as well for the sellers and as for us. In the options, the Store Plus, so this is the option containing all the advantages of the Club Plus Gold. I announced the tariff the last time we made a live at nearly 10 euro, and we received comments from you, from the community, and honestly, we thought you were right. It was a bit too pricey for what was included in what we proposed. So we decided just to cut it by half the price. So the price will be €4.95. This is, we wanted to announce that to you because, yeah, you were right, and we had to do something on that point. And the API pass is at €19.95. API, for those among you who don't know, is a system that allows the seller to have their website communicate with Delcampe, so they can have their inventory on their site and on Delcampe. And this brings charges to us to manage it. So if you are interested by API, just check the Delcampe site and go to the selling tools. You will find more information. So overview. So rather than enduring present and future legal requirements, we are reinventing ourselves. All payments are centralized through PayPal and MangoPay. And in the coming weeks and months, it will be the end of the Club Plus, the launch of shop memberships. There will be improvements to the dispute resolution. You will be able to attach files to file a dispute on an invoice. We will improve the lower and group offer, and we want to launch the mobile app. Actually, the mobile app already existed in test and trial, and many of you used it. Among myself, I use it a lot, and we have just to stop the trial because the app was not compatible with the new system we put in place recently on Delcampe. And so we will now work on upgrading the mobile application, so we will be able to launch it for all among you to use it for your purchases on Delcampe. We have to tell you that we need you as well. Because behind the scenes, our team is working hard. All these changes are a challenge for the habits of our users, but it's a challenge for us as well. It was a huge work to prepare all of this, to analyze everything, and it is still a huge work to adapt the site to help the people who are still struggling to understand how to make their transaction. So we are still working hard, and you can help us in this period. First, you can explain these changes to your buyers and sellers and give them links to our posts and videos. We communicate much about these changes. We send emails, we write blog posts, we make lives like this one, and this live session will be available on YouTube as a video after. So please share the information about around you. As well, something very important now is stop accepting off-Delcampe transaction now. I will tell you why. As the platform fees are collected when a buyer pays your items. If you accept a payment outside of Delcampe, whether it is by check, wire transfer, or PayPal outside of Delcampe, we have no ways to collect our fees anymore. This is a threat for the Delcampe site, and on top of that, it has become now, since this month, fraud. I will tell you why. If you, as a seller, your price for an item is €10, and the displayed price on Delcampe for the buyer was €11.30 with the platform charges included. If your buyer pays you that amount, the €11.30 outside of Delcampe, you will prevent the site to collect his fees, and worse than that, you will yourself take the fees of Delcampe. So this is fraud, simply. So please do not accept Delcampe off transaction anymore. No check, no wire transfer outside of Delcampe. Anything which is not MangoPay or PayPal on Delcampe is now forbidden, actually. Sellers, you can help us as well by slightly lower the price of your sales if you can. I mean that I've heard sometimes that buyers were disappointed by sellers who did not lower their price, because we encourage sellers, if they can, to lower their price, because okay, they are winners in this change, and if they can lower the price, it is good for their competitiveness for their buyers. But we cannot force the seller to lower the price. I will tell you why. For many users on our planet, the charges, the expenses are heavier, actually. You pay more for electricity, you pay more for oil, you pay more for food, you pay more for everything, actually. And for your professional dealer, he pays more as well. So he needs more to be able to pay his own expenses. That's why we just ask you to be fair with your sellers, with the site. Okay, it is a period that is not easy. It is a war period. It is a crisis period, and your dealers, your professional dealers, deserve as well that you help them. So if they cannot lower their price just because they need this amount, the commission, we don't ask them anymore, and we ask to the buyer. Just please help them and don't blame them. They just do their best. This was an important message I think I have to give. On the other side, I know sellers that are able to reduce their price, and I know that some sellers, they discounted by 10% their price. Just this way, their buyers, they pay not more than what they paid before. So thank you for these sellers that could afford to do that. And to help them, we opened the multiple changes interface. You know that the Club Plus Gold members have access to tools like the multiple changes, and they allow them to lower the price of the store. This is presently open to all, whether you are or not Club Plus member. You can help by spreading the word, so you can help the Delcampe community to grow if you like our services, if you like the way we are transparent with you, the way we are fair with you. Just tell it around you. It will help us. It will help the community, and I think it is for the good. Thank you all for present and future supporters, to all among you who help us. If you need help, first browse our help center, because the customer service team daily updates the help center. So if you have a question, there are many possibilities that you find your answer there. If not, just contact our customer service. They will be happy to help. Just note that we receive a lot of emails, so maybe we can be a little bit slower than usually to give you a reply. That's why the help center is, you will get an immediate answer to most of your questions. And please read our latest news. When we send you an email, when we have a new blog post, when we have an important urgent message, we put a banner on top of the older page of the site. Just please read it, because it is important for you to understand what happened and how you can react and improve your purchases and your sales on the site. So this is the end of the first part of the session, the presentation. I hope it was interesting for you. I'm sorry it was maybe a bit long, but I wanted to explain as much as possible for you. I hope it was clear. If not, just please drop us a message in the chat window on YouTube. Don't forget to be able to use the chat window. You have to subscribe to the Delcampe channel. Not because we want to force you, but just because it works like that on YouTube. So just subscribe to the Delcampe channel, and then you will be able to ask questions in the chat. I remind you that Olivier will collect your questions, and then I will read it on my screen here. So I will read your questions, your comments, and I will reply live. I hope I will be able to reply most of your questions. Some among you sent us questions before the live, as well as we invited you to send us your comments and questions by email. This allowed us to prepare a bit more the answers. So I will now check my screen there and read the message you send us during the presentation. If you have more questions, more comments, anything you want to tell us is important. We will read it now. And okay, let's start the second part of our session. So we will start with a question from Servitel. Hello to you. I believe you are an API user. I believe I saw your question recently. So I read, first question from Servitel. When Delcampe changed the offer system, re-enabling the availability immediately and not after 30 days. So you ask when we will change the lower offer system. I cannot give you any dates now. Just that we will do it for sure. We are now managing all the changes due to the new business model we are implementing on Delcampe. I can just tell you that we want to do it just because we wanted to do it before all the changes that have been made now. We just had a lack in time to do it. So as soon as possible. I cannot tell you exactly when. Maybe before the summer holiday, maybe after. For sure, I will tell you this year. But I cannot exactly tell you. So second question from Servitel. When Delcampe creates a ticket system for API, now we need to wait for some days before I take answer when arrive. Yes, indeed. This is a very specific question for API users, but I will shortly reply. So API is a system for an e-commerce site to communicate with Delcamp, and this is managed by a programmer. So probably you, Servitel, you are a programmer. And when a programmer has difficulties with the Delcamp API, there is a forum place where they can ask questions, and the Delcamp developers themselves, they come and they try to help when they can, or they can fix bugs and things like that. And you are requesting a ticketing system. That means when there is a bug, you can file a ticket and you get updates and so on. That would be good indeed. And presently, and you know that because we already replied that to you on the forum. We would love to be able to be more reactive on the API forum, but we are just a small team. So the developers are now entirely focused on all the challenges we have for the new business system we are in place, the new payment methods, the new way of working. And so I cannot tell you when it will be possible. This is something we definitely would love to do. That will be more helpful for you as well. But okay, no, not that yet now. So, rain or shines. Hi from Steve Hill Stamps. Hello. I know we have been in contact in the past as well. I sent through a question on email already. Yes, indeed, we received your question, and I first replied to the live questions I have, and then I will go to the question that were submitted before the live. So I will probably see your questions just after. Second question too. Stamp lots have reduced by around 5% since the changes have been announced. Are you seeing signs that the lots are being less deadweight due to this? I have to read again your question. Stamp lots have reduced by around 5% since the changes have been announced. Are you seeing signs that the lots are being less deadweight due to this? I have to confess that I don't understand the deadweight. It's probably a way my vocabulary being too poor. So if you can just precise your question, and I will be very happy to come back on it just after. Maybe if what you mean is that there are 5% sales less than before on stamps, yes, of course, yeah, the collectible market is under pressure now, as I explained in the presentation. But it is not only on Delcamp. It is the whole market, and mostly the small and middle market, the high-end items, the expensive items. We can feel less the economic crisis, but for the small and middle items, yes, we can feel it. It is not only on Delcamp, and if you take information, I will not name any other company, but we have competitors, international competitors, that have been severely impacted by this economic crisis, and many jobs have been terminated by these companies. You can find that information on Google. On Delcamp, we are very proud that nobody has his contract terminated. We make these changes because, okay, we need to keep everyone on board. We need to provide you a good quality service. So yes, the global market for collectibles is by way lower now than before on Delcamp as well. I don't know if that answer your question. If not, just please precise me, because the dead weight, sorry, I don't understand what it means exactly. So third question from you. Thank you for cutting the price of Store Plus. You're welcome. Really, we thought it was fair. We had to do it. You know that when we take decisions and we think these are the best decisions, we do not change our opinion because we really analyze deeper. On this, we could only agree with the sellers who contacted us. So we are very happy to cut that price. It will bring us less money, okay, but we believe it is fair. And in business, being fair is, in my opinion, by far more important than being expensive. So you add this now brings it into line with the Club Plus Gold. Yes, indeed. This was one of the main arguments we heard. Unfortunately, it no longer includes any reduction for items fees. Yeah, you can tell. Unfortunately, it no longer includes any reduction for item fees. Just to remind other people, the Club Plus Gold brought reduction on the Delcampe fees that were paid by the seller, so they were less expensive. Now these expenses are brought to zero, so we cannot make discounts on zero. So I can understand that this is an advantage. You feel it is less present, but you have this yeah you there is no need, in my opinion, to have this reduction that is no more applicable because there is no more commission for sellers. And you add Steve stamps. Please, could Store Plus reduce the buyer item fee when they buy from a store utilizing Store Plus? That could have been an idea, but this is not previewed now. First thing we have to do now is to check. We brought many changes in our business model. We are now accompanying the users through the different steps to have better transaction on the site. We will see where it will bring us. Maybe this is something we could think about in the future, not in the near future, but we first have to see, okay, where will that bring us? And then we will think what we can improve for all the users. Okay, and thank you. You precise that dead weight is unsellable lots. Yes, it looks like the word in French, the poids mort. But okay, I understand. Maybe I will read your question again to see if I understand it better now. Okay, I believe I understood better your question. So I will formulate it with my own words. So you say that the stamp inventory on Delcampe, so the total number of items on sale has been reduced by about 5%. And you ask if these 5% contain dead weight lot. To be honest, we did not really analyze it yet because we have so many things to do. And but this is something we keep an eye on it. We believe, from what we have already saw, without going deeper into the data, but from what we have saw, exactly, you're right. Many sellers hurt or request or pray to manage better their store and to reduce the price of their unsellable sales, or simply to put them out of Delcampe, just because if they did not sell them for a price during 5 years, there is no need to leave them on the site. So I believe, yes, we can already feel a positive impact. I can tell you that when we announced it, the shop expenses, we had on Delcampe 96 or 97 million items, and now we have totally 93 million items. So I believe this is one of the side effects already, yes. So I will go now to the questions you submitted before the live. So we got the comment from Baltija. So I will read it. Since platform fees, according to the new terminology, are paid by the buyer, I find it confusing that the fees paid by the buyer are shown in the seller's payment history. The description says payment received, but the seller never received the platform fees. It's unnecessary information. Yes, clearly stated. Since we have put this system in place, we did that the best we could at that time, and we noticed that something were not clear enough. And regarding this, yes, we had to change things. It was not for many professional dealers. It was not clear whether they had to declare to the for tax purpose the Delcampe fees, how they can differentiate the amount they get that from the Delcampe fees. So there were different concerns, and we listened to the sellers about that, and we analyzed and we found solutions. They are not yet applied on the site, but we already took the decisions. We validated the screens. That means we are presently in the process of programming it. No, we just need to test it, and I believe that it's a matter of days or weeks, maybe. I cannot tell exactly because otherwise programmers will will be angry against me. But it will come very, very shortly. We will improve the invoices on the site to show clearly the difference between what the seller gets and then what the site platforms are. So we will differentiate them clearly. It will be easier as well for the seller for his accounting purpose as for the buyer to better understand what he is paying for. So yes, this will be improved. Another question from Steve Hill Stamps. As a seller, PayPal statements show the total amount paid by the buyer, including buyer fees, entering my account. Buyer fees are then deducted as a separate transaction. For tax purposes, this needs to be accounted for correctly by providing an invoice from Delcampe to the seller for the deduction. When will sellers be receiving this? Monthly, as it was before. As it was before, just play. You talk about the sellers. Sorry, but I don't really understand, because the buyer fees, and you talk about buyer fees, and on the opposite, you ask when will sellers be received an invoice from Delcampe. I see no link between these. Actually, as the fees are paid by buyers, Delcampe will invoice the buyers for these fees. And you, as a seller, for the tax purpose, you have to declare only what you get. So the item and the shipping charges, but not the Delcampe, the platform fees. This is on our side. We will declare them for our tax purpose. We will pay taxes on that, and we will invoice for that. But it is apart because it is paid by the buyer. So Martin 52. It's a bit longer. I will read it. As you might know, my whole previous price structure in Swiss currency is now shattered by these changes. I suppose that you have round amount, or the .99 Swiss francs, things like that. It's not shattered by these changes. That does not bother me a lot, and I think you don't care about that. I cannot tell that we don't care, just we do our best. Item my important to me reminder to the buyer is no longer clearly visible to the buyer because he is unable to see my own prices anymore. Yes, this is what we have changed it. This problem could be easily solved if the buyer, same as the seller, can see both sides now of the price structure, mine and yours. I can understand that you won't like that because you might be ashamed because of the higher fee you will earn, but thank you. But it is technically no match and a huge attempt of trust and transparency to all of us. Okay. At first, we decided to be as transparent as possible, and we displayed the price, both what the seller will get, the buyer will get, and it was not understandable for the buyers. So we decided that what we display was the price all included for the buyer. So if he sees a postcard on sale for 11 and 30 Swiss francs, it is not important for the buyer to know what will be the platform charges, what will be the seller price. when you buy an item, a cloth or anything, any accessory, you don't care about what part of the payments will be for the seller and what part will be for the platform. You just agree on a global price. Um, no, that being said, on Delcamp, we have always, it is one of our values, the transparencies. And it will be possible for the buyer to know exactly what the Delcamp platform fees are. And this will be more clearly shown on the invoice. Today it's already possible to see it when you go to the payments tab in your account. You go to payments, and when you click on get the details of your payments, you will see clearly what are the seller price, the shipping charges, and the platform fees. It is clearly shown there, and I believe this is the place it is the most important to have it when you make your payments. So I understand what you say, but um, showing both amount to the buyers will just make things more complicated, and we noticed that things were complicated enough, and the time is now to make it as easy as possible for all the users. Tony Jane. Your recent changes have killed my sell that despite having listened to your YouTube presentation, and as you suggested, I lowered my price by 10% to try and get sales moving again. While I think that your overall charges are okay and are competitive with other platforms, the issue is buyer perception. Finding sellers and stock to sell is not the issue. We need buyers. I would rather see the whole cost move to the seller where it would be out of sight and mind of the buyer. All buyers like to get a bargain, or at least perceive they are. They just go to buy items, then see the price jump with platform fees and just don't hit the buy button. You should know that, Tony Jane, the price your buyer see is the final price. It is not your price, then adding platform fee when they check out. When they see the price, they agree on it immediately before his purchase. That is one of the objectives of this the changes we brought, is that things are more clear for the buyer. There is no surprise. Um, I'm sad to read that your sale are now less. To tell you the truth, it is the case in all the collectible markets, the small and middle items. And this is a trend we have for a few months and maybe 1 or 2 years. So yes, you are not alone to have this problem, and we hope that it will go higher after. And what we are now looking at is the economic impact it will have on our company. If we see that we make benefits again, because we stopped doing benefits for some time. We were losing money, believe me. If we do benefits again, of course, we will invest in the growth of the company. That means the growth of the sale. That means more sale for you. So now we prepare plans, the marketing plans. We make us ready for new growth in our market. But yeah, we will do our best to fight a global market which is going lower. Yeah. So I see there is no more question in the chat. Maybe one. Yeah. I will reply a message from On the Ridge Stamps. So I read, my main comment is around the make offer option for buyers to make a lower bid on fixed price items. Generally, it's a useful feature, and I've made quite a few sales using it. However, I often receive unreasonably low offers on items just listed, and offers on already very inexpensive items. I'm sure all sellers will appreciate more control over how offers can be configured. So, and you give some ideas. So yes, as I told in this live session, we are about to to improve much the group offer, the lower offer. So this will come. I cannot already. I'm not yet allowed. Not allowed, but I'm not capable now to tell you when it will come. But it is already being analyzed, and I hope it will be as soon as possible because I personally, I am confident that it will help to have better sales. I heard from different sellers that since we changed this, their possibilities with the make offer system were less good than before. They have less good results. Okay, I see we still have maybe a last question in the chat. From Rain or Shines, so Steve Hill stamps. I need to declare what enters in my PayPal account on my tax statement, and your buyer fees are entering my PayPal account, then being deducted. Please fix the system or send an invoice, please. So I understand better now your question, the question you asked a bit sooner. Actually, the fees are taken on the fly. So when a buyers send an amount, we take the money for the Delcampe account and then we give to the seller, and we declare to the taxes regarding the. Actually, our customer for the Delcampe fees is the buyer, not the seller. No, I read your question. This is very precise. To be honest, I don't know exactly myself how it works internally at PayPal. So we will check how it is exactly. And please, if you did not yet contact the customer service with that question, contact them, and we will check exactly how it works and what we can do to improve this. But thank you. This is an interesting question. So now I believe we answer it most of the questions. So it's time for me to thank you. Thank you for attending this live session. Yes, we took a bit more than 1 hour and a half. I hope I was clear enough, that my English was not too difficult for you to understand. Thank you for attending. Thank you for your participation. Thank you for your questions. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for the team who helped me today. Team here, Alexandre, Olivier, the team of Delcampe, which is online. Yeah, it is important for us. Thank you for your support. I would be interested to have your comments. So please, it is still time to put your comments in this in the chat. I will read them, of course. Whether or not you enjoyed the chat, what we can improve. If you like it, there is a thumb up. Please use it. If you did not like the others, up to you to choose. You have the right to have your own opinion. Your comments are really welcome for us. And if you see this video not in real time, because the video will be available in replay on YouTube, so you can easily share the link with your buyers, with your seller, with your friends, so they get the information as well as you got it live today. So if you are looking at this video not in real time, so in replay, please drop your comments just under. It is always useful for us. So thank you all for your presence, your support, and see you at the next live session of Delcampe. Wish you a good day. Bye-bye.